Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90-Day Fiancé latest news. Except for the steady beeping of the heart monitor, the hospital room was quiet. Each beep served as a gentle reminder of life, of the pulse still pulsing in Liz Wood's veins, though it felt weaker today and receding ever so gently with every day. A little solace in the middle of her struggle, the sterile smell of antiseptic mixed with the faint residues of her lavender-scented lotion, which she always used before bed. The hospital bed's chilly metal under her, and the sharp, austere white walls all around her seemed to accentuate the loneliness she experienced even with loved ones. Her once vivid, sun-kissed skin had turned almost ghostly, the weight of disease softening the strong lines of her face. Her body had been devastated by chemotherapy, which had taken her strength and replaced it with a hollow, brittle version of herself. But a silent fire still raged deep within her weary eyes. She still existed here. She was still under conflict. Beside her, Jason Zuniga sat with his large form slumped in a chair that appeared too tiny. His dark hair was messy, and his typical humorous twinkle in his eyes was absent, replaced with a nearly haunted, gravely concerned gaze. Not even to sleep, he had not left her side for days. Living on caffeine and adrenaline, the weight of the circumstances was weighing down him with every hour. His fingers entwined with hers in a frantic attempt to hang on the one thing that meant most in the world. Her. His gaze never left her face. Looking at Liz, he saw a lady who had once been so vibrant and alive. He recalled her laughter, how her vitality would fill a room, how her smile might brighten even the worst of days. She now lay there, frail and tired, the vivid lady he had fallen in love with hardly identifiable. Still, Liz managed to grin in spite of it. Though barely a curl of her lips, it was enough to remind Jason of her power. She opened her eyes slowly, blinking against the faint light coming in through the slats, then fixed her sight on his. His chest hurt from a flutter of awareness, a flare of warmth. Liz said, her voice weak and scratchy from the toll the treatments had taken on her body. "I never thought our road would take this turn." Jason's heart closed up in his chest. He had seen her go through hell, seen her bear the chemotherapy sessions, the nausea, the tiredness, the weight of doubt hovering over them both all the time. He had seen her at her lowest, seen her struggle against a body that appeared to be betraying her at every turn. Still seeking to console him, she was here. Still trying to reduce his suffering, even while hers was intolerable. "We will face this together, Liz," Jason replied gently, his voice shaking as he battled to stifle the tears that threatened to flow. "The strongest person I know is you." Liz gripped his hand and slightly lifted the corners of her mouth in a little smile. Quietly, "Knowing you're here makes it bearable." Her comments cut right at him. He detested her being weak, vulnerable, and striving. He was unable to articulate the intense, gnawing anguish he experienced upon seeing someone he loved so profoundly suffer. He wanted to bring it all away, to bear the weight for her, to stop it. He could not, though. With great emotional weight, he said, "I wish I could take this pain away from you." Liz's eyes softened, and she inhaled gently but steadily. She said, her voice almost above a whisper, "I know." They fell into a thick quiet, the type of silence that permeated the space with all that remained unspoken. Though his head was a whirlpool of emotions and his heart was beating in his chest, Jason could not find the words. There was nothing more to say. It seemed as though their circumstances had engulfed him. Then Liz moved slightly in her bed, her face tight with something more than tiredness. Jason saw the change in her demeanor, the flutter of discomfort in her eyes. He leaned forward, worry wrinkling over his brow. His voice just a whisper, he questioned, "What is it?" Liz hesitated, her gaze straying to the side as if she were mustering the confidence to talk. "I have seen the internet rumors," she remarked gently. Jason's stomach constricted. On the back of his neck, he could sense hairs rising. More diversions and more negativity were the last things he wanted right now, the last things they needed overall. He wanted no hearing of it, but he also understood Liz would never bring it up until it bothered her. Trying to keep his voice calm, he asked, "What rumors?" Liz inhaled deeply, effort driving her chest to rise and fall. "People are reporting that you cheated on me during my therapy." The words hung there, weight crushing down on him. The floor seemed to have slid from under him. His jaw tightened in rage and incredulity as his hands closed into fists around hers. "Liz, those are only rumors," Jason remarked, his voice little above a snarl. I never would betray you, especially not now. His eyes were sharp, a protectiveness he could no longer control. Liz locked her eyes on his face. Silent for a minute, she studied him with the depth that gave him the impression of straight-through vision. She answered quietly, I know. I trust you. The heart hurt in Jason's case. Though he had never questioned Liz's faith in him, hearing her express those words in such a delicate state just made him feel more protective. He aimed to protect her from all of it, the lies, the gossip, the harshness of the outside world. All he could do, though, was watch her suffer from her seat. Liz, though, wasn't done. There was something else as well. Her voice quivering. It still hurts, Jason, she said. See those things online, see people who Dons not even know us spread lies. It's hard not to let it affect me, especially when we're already going through so much. Closing his eyes, Jason let her comments sink in. This was accurate. Their environment, the universe of reality TV, was merciless. It made no difference whether they were battling for their life. People would always be ready to generate drama where none exists. It wasn't fair. With great emotional weight, he squeezed her hand. Liz, those folks hardly know us. You are not known to them. They are ignorant of your strength or the amount of battle you have done. They are ignorant of the love we have, the life we are creating. Not a damn about what they say. Though Liz pushed them away fast, refusing to allow herself fall apart in front of him, her eyes teemed with unshed tears. I know. Sometimes, though, it's difficult to avoid allowing the weight of it all pull me down. The heart of Jason broke for her. She had never been one to let herself be vulnerable or to display frailty. Still here she was, naked and vulnerable in a way she had never experienced. We don't need them, he stated resolutely, his voice strong. Each of us has the other. This is everything that counts. Liz nodded, her lips shaking. For the first time in days, a real grin fluttered across her face, albeit it was little and brittle. And among us are our supporters, the people praying and helping us here. It is unbearable. They provide me power, Jason. Jason grinned back, her words like a bomb sliding into his chest. They adore Liz. Both of us do. Liz inhaled deeply to collect the last of her vitality. Then let's continue to fight. All together. We will confront whatever comes up together. Leaning forward, Jason gently kissed her forehead and stayed there for just a moment more than required. It was enough. He could feel her skin under his lips, her breath rising and falling with regular cadence. Liz, I swear. Constantly. And the world outside vanished as they sat there, encircled by each other's arms. The rumors, the suffering, the ambiguity, all of it vanished from view. Their affection still lingered, and the relentless fortitude they would need to negotiate whatever came next. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.